and we will come back to Avax, but I do want to look at BTC, and I want to look at from these. We'll just kind of scout, move on from here. Try to scoot here, and we're looking at the weekly here. Okay, so the good thing is that we are still in a bullish chart, even in the weekly. And why do I think we're in a bullish chart in the weekly? And everybody thinks, oh, but it's downtrending. It's not downtrending. Okay, we're still in an uptrend, believe it or not. This is just 2 waves. That's it. And if you think this is a downtrend, you got some more studying to do, okay? Because this is an uptrend, and also this comes down, and I mean, our most recent lowest point hit about the halfway point of the bearish order block, which is normal. That's exactly how smart money works. So your bullish order block is your last bearish candle before the next bullish candle closes above it, which is right here. Right. So I will draw a rectangle around the bullish order block. There you go. That is your bullish order block, actually, and a little bit too much of the wick. Okay, so just with the body, that is your bullish order block. We came down, we dipped inside of it just a little bit, and then boom, we were out again. So we are still on a bullish chart, 100% in my opinion. Now, if we want to get down to the nitty-gritty and look at what's going on here and see if we can see anything that we could possibly take advantage of, yeah, definitely. It happened yesterday for sure. Whenever it started dropping, came down. What did it do? It filled that fair value gap. So even on the hour, look at this. I think it was maybe the 4 hour, which might be better. Yeah, 4 hour, a lot better. You go from here to here. It goes all the way down through that fair value gap. And look, we're still inside of it. So it comes down through, trying to fill that void, that price volume imbalance, right? Comes down through, hits the bottom of it, and now comes up, hits the top, and now it looks like it's just trying to escape it. The thing is that we have 2 equal highs here, which is telling me that we are going to go higher. Whenever we have equal highs, what most people are taught is to sell short there. What I am taught is to almost rev your engine and get ready to run right through it, because most people short this. Smart money does not. Smart money buys to sell. So what they will do is they will actually buy into this, and maybe just a little bit into it, and then they'll sell off a little bit, making you chase it, and then they'll run it the other way. It happens all the time. Let's see if I'm trying to think if I could find an example. Oh, right here. It's a perfect one. Okay, so we have almost 3 equal highs here, creating what is called manufactured liquidity. So that right there is your liquidity line, your line to where everybody thinks is going to be dropping. It's going to be going south from here. Why? Because it's dipped low. It may not have dipped lower. We may have seen a higher low, but we still haven't seen a higher high yet either, have we? No, not really. So it drops, it comes back up, and then what does it do? You see this little spike right here? That little spike right there. Boom. Gets close enough to almost all these to make it seem like it's going to drop again. And I'm sure a lot of people chased it going south. And as soon as they did, what happened? Boom. Opposite way. Took everybody out. Anybody that was trying to go short. Because I'm guaranteeing you, so many people, especially whenever it was getting up closer and closer and closer to that area, were shorting and shorting and shorting. And as soon as it got to that area, say goodbye. It just said goodbye. Took so many people out with that. I hope you're getting this picture in your head, and I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. That, and I'll even put another short position on here for you. Oh, let me turn this off. Oh, I gotta do it again. Sorry, guys. All right. All right, so I put this stop loss exactly at where this line is. This line that is your resistance line. Let's say it is your resistance line. Everybody thinks it's the resistance line, right? It can't get any higher than that, right? So you want to make sure that you're in, right? So it pops up, you sell short, and it's starting to come back up, and you're like, okay, don't worry about it. It's what everybody else is thinking is this, right? Everybody else is thinking it's a wedge or it's a triangle. Oops, no, didn't mean to do that. That it's either gonna touch the top of this and drop, right? Or somehow gonna have a breakthrough. No. It's not how this works. Price doesn't know if it's gonna hit an imaginary line or not. However, it does know where all of the orders are. And if all of the orders are sitting right around in here, saying go short, where do you think smart money's going to go? Through the orders to take them out so that they can keep the money. Make sense? Good. Okay. So now the question is, what is Bitcoin going to do now? That is a good question. And actually, this is Bitcoin. This is actually market cap. Well, this may be Bitcoin futures. I don't know. Let me see. Let me go to the future side of it. Yeah, I don't like the future side of it. Let's do Coinbase. Coinbase has the most users, so. Okay. I was going to say, I thought I had a lot more drawings here, but I picked the wrong thing. All right, so. Now, this was when I went to the grocery store right here. Jesus. We ran up these highs, and so if we measured from, this is actually interesting. Hold on one second. if we measured from just this candle right here, this one candle that sprang up, we measured from its low to its high, it actually went three times that candle. Nice, fun, and interesting. But I think that was the 5 minute, but on the 5 minute, or so that was a 15 minute. On the 5 minute, we did leave imbalances, right? And that was around in these areas, so it did fall back into here. Now we're inside, I want to say, of a daily fair value gap, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, that's right here. That's this 4 hour gap, I think. Let me see if it's a 4 hour or if it's a daily. It looks like there's two. One. Okay, this is the 4 hour. And this is the daily. So the heights are both the same, so it doesn't matter. So this is the daily fair value gap, which is interesting because we have hit the top of this so many times. Top here we have somewhat relative equal highs. Still, people would be considering this a support zone, coming up to it. Here we definitely do have equal highs almost coming up right here, and then we drop back down into these areas to where there was these fair value gaps. And then once it gets to the top here of the daily fair value gap, pulls back in and then hits one of the smaller fair value gaps, again gap to gap, and boom, takes off way up here. I mean, we get to 47, almost 47,500 before it starts falling off, and falling off hard. Okay. I brought this over here. Yep. So that was another 5 minute fair value gap. Came down into. It still hadn't been filled, so what does it do? Boom, comes down, fills it, and now we come down and we touch this one. There's a 5 minute fair value gap down here. Now I'm not for sure if we're going to come down here and fill this one. I really don't know if we will. If anything, we may get to that, just the midway point, just because we're still on the bullish side of the chart. So again, this thing comes down here, gets stopped right here, and it gets stopped right there. Why? Because of a bullish order block. Bullish order block is your last down candle before the next up candle closes above it. And then boom, take off. So if it does come down to this area again, yeah, I probably will go through it, and we will see it get into this fair value gap territory. Because once it goes through it, I mean, if it hits it once and it gets rejected and it goes toward it again, more than likely it's going to go through it. But if it's rejected that bad to where it fills the fair value gap that hadn't been previously filled, I don't think we're going to see that happen. What I think we're going to see is that now that we're on the 5 minute, is that, and these two almost rebalance, right? Is that this candle, your last down candle, is going to be your bullish order block. Even though the next candle didn't close above it, it's the succession of candles. So the multiple candles that closed above it. Now, technically, I mean, we're really wanting to get really technical. No, this isn't a bullish order block. Why? Because all of these down candles, right, are higher than all of these up candles. But if we're going to look at it at a 5-minute time frame, and we want to take into consideration that we have filled a 5-minute fair value gap that we have done right here, right? We've went through it, we've touched the top of another 5-minute fair value gap, came down, hit the top of a bullish order block, right? And then got rejected. Come up, out, we made almost equal highs. That is another thing that gets me, is that these are relative equal highs. Relative equal highs, to me, are not a resistance point. This is not a point of resistance. This is not a point of it's going to sell off. This is a point of this is going to choo-choo chain right through. And it could take it coming down to this white line. It could take it coming down to, well, the next thing I would look for would be to put a Fibonacci on the last red candle, the bodies of it. Oops. There we go, bodies of it. And then look for the half measurement, the 50% mark. It shouldn't reach any further than that. It might reach just a little bit further than that, but it shouldn't, generally speaking, it does not reach more than halfway into the bullish order block. So that price being 45,955, so almost 46,000. We could see price get down to about 46,000, and then boom, turn around again. And then finally, maybe tomorrow, start seeing these things start to develop more and more. But we have been seeing a lot of these bullish perspectives, and it's been good, especially, Axie has been good. We look at Axie here. Here, Axie has two relatively equal highs, from the 24th of March all the way up until Friday. So this tells me that we are in for an Axie run. Let me see what is over here. I'm not finding anything, so might be quite some time before we get to that 74, 75 mark from Axie. But you also look here. I wouldn't say relative equal highs, but it's somewhat almost equal highs. Right around in this area. It's probably going to want to break. Now, as you can see, there was relative equal lows that it did already break into. And now it's possibly wanting to look out. Now, the only thing is that there is these two, and I'm not for sure about these because these are wicks. This is one thing I don't like about wicks, is that these could be just liquidity runs. Liquidity runs meaning people that are trying to go long right around in these areas right here, because they think that is where the support area is. Right, you see all these, because these are relatively equal lows too. So a lot of people would probably be going long in this area. What does smart money do? Boom, drops it down lower. Try to take them out. Also, what it does at the exact same time is it fills in a fair value gap and touches a bullish order block before it goes the opposite way. So that's good news. Good news that actually could be going up. Right now, we're in consolidation phase, though. There's the power of three, manipulation, consolidation, distribution. Right now, we're in consolidation. We've had the manipulation, which was, it coming down. Now we're just waiting for the distribution. Another one I was looking at, Phantom. Almost the same thing. Let me get on the hour. The good thing is that all of these are coming up from these lows that we have been so heavily just been drowned in for so long that put everybody's spirits down. Now we're finally getting out of them. Look at this. So we got this fair value gap daily. It looks like almost all of these have been removed. Let me look to see if there's actually a different daily fair value gap from that since that one. And it looks like there is. So I want to pull this one back. And I want to start a new one. Because there is one. Start it right here. Well. And go to here. Well, fuck. There we go. That is a new daily fair value gap. So that is something price could be lurching toward. As you can see, this green candle right here, right in the middle of the fall, stops, pulls up, and then drops again. So this green candle is what is considered the bearish order block. So, as all bearish order blocks are, as soon as you hit them, what is expected? A retracement. So it does pull back. And as soon as it pulls back and actually gets a little bit lower, but what does it do? It rebalances from the previous day. That way we don't have to worry about a fair value gap, and then boom, goes up. So there's no fair value gaps below this at all. So that is a good thing about Phantom. Phantom looks like it's about to just take off, especially once it gets into and fills this fair value gap. Then I would be looking for it to try to break this high around $2. Next one, oh yeah, I wanted to look up Avax, and then I want to do Luna, and that's it. And then I will be out of your hair for the night. Now Avax, the good thing about Avax, what I have been doing with Avax, it's not, I've been using my other computer to do it, but if you don't know about TraderJoe XYZ, and you like staking coins, this is where you would use your MetaMask to buy up as much Avalanche as you can, and go here, and you will find, well, first, pull different types of liquidity pools that offer different kinds of incentives, such as different APRs. I think they just added Ape, and they also added what was the new one they said today? Zoo? Yeah, Zoo. Zoo is a new one. Very, very high, pretty high APR. So if you're into staking, that kind of thing, this is where I go, because Avax has been a great coin to rely on. And also, they do have a Luna Avax, which is a really, really high APR. That one I was surprised about, because they're both really, really reliable. So a lot, I'll just say a lot of my money went into that one. But yeah, it's fun. And also I found this other centralized program, or centralized exchange, I should say, called LBank. I've never heard of it before. I don't know why. I just found it the other day, and this thing is awesome. And one of the reasons it's awesome is, for one, if you like staking, like where I was just talking about. Look at this. You can do all different types of staking. You know, you can do X2, Y2 for 168%. Lux is 168%. Zoe is 140%. I don't know which this one is, but it's 48%. Dots 8. I mean, SOS almost 90%. See your BNB 5%. See the ones that are unheard of, I guess, the ones that are probably more volatile are probably a lot higher in APR than most. You got Goku sitting here, 41%, and most of these, yeah, fairly high. You don't see a lot of the normal coins that you typically see in here. At least I haven't, anyway. You got Doge here. You got Sand. But then you also got these ones that are called locked. So these are the ones where you have to make sure that they're in there for a specific amount of days before you pull them out, right? And then you'll get the APY. And you'll get the APY. I think it's paid out daily. So here you have, HVI for 50%. That's if you want to stake it for a full year, right? But there's also another 30-day one if you wanted, 20%, which is interesting, because if you have a 30-day one for 20%, why wouldn't you just do the 30-day one for 20% for a whole year? You're going to make more than the 50% one. Does not make sense to me. So that's what I was like, why did they do that? But a lot of these are LBK to mine. So that is the native token, which is LBK. That's what a lot of these are. But there's also, I forgot, there's some at the end. I think, yeah, even though it has 67 pages, a lot of these programs have ended. So don't get too excited that there's all these different projects out there, because some of them have ended. Even this one that says is 71.1%. I don't know why people have left their money in some of these that have completed. I guess the APY is 100%. I don't know if they're still collecting it. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. But also, what I like about it is the futures. And they have options. I've never seen options in crypto before. I know how options work, but I don't know if I would ever do options. But I would definitely do the futures. I did them earlier. Didn't make much, just because it was all around the time everything was peaking anyway, so I just kind of sat on my hands. But the one thing they do have is they do have the ETF coins, which are your typical three long, 3 short, 5 long, 5 short, like type coins, things like that. And there's a lot of them. I just did a thing on Gate, and I thought Gate had a lot. No, this thing ain't got nothing on Gate. I mean, and it has things you never heard of before too that are in here. It's awesome. So I did try my luck at a couple. So if I was to go to my wallet and go to spot, it actually shows you in your spot. All right. Looks like I'm just down about $1 or $2. So I put 20 in Bitcoin 5. I put 10 in Phantom, and I put 10 in ETH 5, or Phantom 3 and 10 in ETH 5. So looks like Bitcoin just went down a little bit. Phantom went down, or sorry, ETH went down a little bit. Phantoms went up. If we went to the futures, doesn't show, but I came in here, well, I came in here with 80, and that was before I put 20 over to the other side. So I was actually here with 60, so I actually gained 97 cents. But their futures, they start off at 20x, but you can change your futures anytime you want. Anyways, I just thought this was interesting. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to sign up. That's another cool thing about it too, I guess I should say, is the bonus center. They have like a list of bonuses that you can get up to $225. So you have cumulative spot trading, spot trade. I think it's the equivalent of $1,000 or more. So if you have $1,000 in some other account, throw it over here and put it in a spot trade. Boom, you get the reward, which is 20 USD. And the one I was gonna do was do the futures one, but if you hit go, it says that you have to. Let me see if it'll pull up. It's not pulling up. Well, on my phone, what it said is that I had to open it, oh, there it is. Complete cumulative spot trading first. So then it also says buy crypto via credit card, participate in LBank earnings. So put $200 in staking rewards, and then grid trading. So basically it says create 3 trading strategies with total cumulative grid trading volume of 500 equivalent. Reward $20 USD cashback card. I personally like the participate in LBank earning, because you can literally put $200 in a stable coin and let it go for a month, and then you'll get 200 back. That is a really good bonus. So I'll throw my description down in the link. Anyways, Jesus, got way off topic there. Avax, looks like we have another row of equal highs here, right around the $100 mark. They're kind of some equal lows, but not really. There was this right here, that was a 15-minute for a value gap. Looks like it dipped into it once, came down, filled the imbalance, and now it looks like it's trying to get out. So I do see an imbalance above here, right here. So, and it's also right above here too, right above where it's currently at. So I could see it trying to struggle, trying to get out of here. But once it eventually does, I think Avalanche will definitely be running toward, hundreds again. I mean, it only came down to, I think the lowest I saw it today was like 96.4, or it came down, I guess, to, I don't know if that was today. That wasn't even today, yeah. So we just had that one big run up, all the way up almost to the top, and then came back down. So watch out for those equal highs. Definitely going to be a run through on that one. And then Luna This is the only thing that scares me on Luna is those equal lows. I don't think it's going to try to go through those equal lows just to get to that 15-minute fair value gap. But there is a possibility that it could, because whenever you see, hold on, let me look to the left. No, I don't like that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Whenever you see a big area that's just green and there's no red on either side, that just shows that there's such a big imbalance that price would like almost have to come back into that area to fill that imbalance. But if we look directly to the left, we see this big spike up. So what does that mean? Well, if we think about the market maker buy or sell model, there are different areas in the chart to where this happens, right? Different areas get filled, different boxes get filled, so that way in case something like this does happen, a big runoff and then kind of comes up and this comes down, does happen, you already have that area covered, right? So this area has basically already been here price has already been in this area and covering this area to where I don't think it's going to want to try to come back down into this area. And even if it does, I mean, this is basically a mitigation block, so it may get lower than the lows, but I don't think it's going to get down to this 15-minute fair value gap. So down to 109. So right now we're at a comfortable 114. Here we have definitely equal highs, which is what I like to see. Right there, yeah. So if anything, what I think could possibly happen is comes up, maybe drops a little bit lower, hits this guy right here. I don't know, it may even drop down into here, and then as soon as it does, boom, rips up. That's what I think is going to happen. But anyways, that's all I got. That's enough from me. I've talked for way too long. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. And always wear your pants. It doesn't really touch it.